Hey guys, today I thought I'd make this video. It's kind of long overdue. So, this is going to be a two-part video. Not going to go quite too in depth because I just want to get straight to the topic of this video. If you saw on my Instagram, there was a lot of hype towards this. It's been, I was working on this for a day now. A lot of people want to see it. A lot of people need to see it. And it's just an important topic that needs to be talked about. So this is a two-part video. It would make sense for the first video to go into depth about the timeline and about the story, about what happened, and then the second episode would be more in depth about talking to the victims, spreading awareness, just talking about my overall opinion in general, and just the disgusting acts of Josh H. Now, after sorry, my thing just died then. After months of just searching, I've brought it upon myself to not say his full name, but I'm going to say a bit of his name, so we don't have to keep saying JH, and it doesn't really spread a lot of confusion. So, Josh H. There is one reason I'm saying his name, and one reason only. It's because I know a lot of people would probably want him hurt, or whatever if I said his name, and I'm not that type of person. At the end of the day, I don't want anyone hurt from this. I just want awareness spread, and my overall reason for making this video is for protecting others. So I'm going to start by talking about the video that I made last December, called the official JH video. Now in the video, I talked about JH, but obviously it wasn't me talking. Like, I didn't think it would be appropriate me talking in front of the camera, so I don't feel comfortable like talking like that. Like, that's just my overall opinion. I've got to try and stop saying like. Game commentary is more like just an easy thing to do for me. Literally, just gonna tell the truth now. I gave you guys a lot of in-depth information in that video, but it's always better for you guys to understand it when I talk about it, because it's just always easy to understand through a person's voice. Before I go into anything, the second video of this series, the second part, will be coming in a couple of days, so make sure to stay tuned and subscribe for that if you do want to see. If you don't watch my channel and you're here literally for the purpose of this video, then that's fair enough, you can stay. If you don't want to subscribe, that's also fine, but just please note that the second video will be uploaded soon. Oh my god. Right, so where shall I begin? Probably start with the fact what happened. Right, so I'm about to tell you now is the story. You're probably telling me to get fucking on, because I'm not. I thought that was creepy. Because I've been delaying it a bit, but I'm going to tell you now. Right, so Josh H. Josh H. This was the boy in my year, my old high school. So, not much you nearly need to know about him except the fact he was always an outcast, always a misfit. Now, that wasn't anyone's fault but his. He never made really an effort with anyone, except for the people, kind of like the nerdy group, if you'd say. Like, I wouldn't really call them the nerdy group because I was friends with them, but this is about me. So he would kind of be friends with the people that were kind of like, that would shut themselves away from the rest of the year. He was one of them. And personally, in my opinion, whenever I'd see him, I'd feel sorry for him, because a lot of people did kind of like, a lot of people just didn't like him, and I never saw why. Admittedly, one time I did walk to the canteen with him to just talk to him. This was before I found out about anything, so don't worry, I don't condone his actions whatsoever. But yeah, he bought me a banana milkshake, a Yuzu, I think that's what they're called. Yeah, he bought me one of them, and we just talked. And he seemed like a pretty cool guy, and this was like 3 months before the allegations. So, May 2019 rolls around. he is involved in what I can only describe as a fatal accident at school. So he attempts or thinks it would be cool for him to jump 6 to 7, 8 people, or it might have even been stretched to 10. He fails miserably and breaks his collarbone in the process. So that bags him 3 months off. So he takes those 3 months off. And that was very lucky for him, because on his second week off, that's when the allegations first came out. So, the allegations. Basically, if you want to know about the allegations, which you will do, I have this buddy, really close to me at the time, still is. You'll all know him as AJ. And he had this girlfriend, not going to disclose the name for her safety. Let's call her Hillary for now. Not the Hillary Clinton, just Hillary. So they obviously were a couple of years younger than me, because I was in year 10, he was in year 8, and I was friends with AJ specifically because he had the same mindset as me. He was just an all-round funny, uptight guy. He was just not nice, right? And this Josh H was you know, he was older, he was taller than me. He was, you know, like, you know, I'm a pretty tall lad. I'm like 6'2", I think. Pretty sure, but yeah. Anyways, so that doesn't really matter. I'm kind of just boosting my own ego here. So anyways, one day Hillary was around AJ's, and AJ decided to snoop on a phone. Now you can all have your own opinions about that. I'm not going to say there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't really have an opinion on it, because personally I wouldn't do it, but you know, it's fair enough. One unless she asked me to or something like that, but you know, but like if she asked me to look on her phone for something, I'll get a text message or something like that. I'll send her on a, you know, something like that. But obviously he did, and that's when he found the text from Josh H. Now you can all debate whether, you know, like what I'm about to tell you later on in the video, and you can also debate whether why she didn't tell AJ, but what I will tell you later on probably will kind of let you guys know why, or like if you understand what I mean. Like you'll find out soon towards the end of the video. And like I said, just because I'm alright with some of these people, some of the victims, doesn't mean I'm going to disclose or tell you guys my own personal opinion whether I think the way they acted or what they did was disgusting. But just because they did what they did doesn't mean that Josh H should have done what he did, neither. So anyways, back into the concept of what we're talking about. So he snooped on a phone and he found some very inappropriate text messages from her. Now, when I be able to get the screenshots, I will put them up in the second episode, but for now, you'll kind of just have to go on what's based on my memory, because I don't really have the best memory when it comes to memorising screens or stuff like that. But I can tell you the good few of what I remember. So I play a big key part in this, just because I played a good key part to the downfall of Josh H. And I'm not proud that I brought him down, but I knew I had to for the protection and safety of other younger girls. So anyways, AJ found these messages, and it was basically his girlfriend, Hillary, and Josh H having a bit of an inappropriate conversation. Now she wasn't really saying much things back, but he was asking her for photos and videos and saying inappropriate things to her, asking what, and asking like you know, like could her and this or that, because bear in mind Hillary's like bisexual, so he was kind of asking if, you know, like if her and this other girl would have a threesome, and then it was just all downhill from there. And yeah, he asked her if she would have a threesome and if he could masturbate over it and all that, and he was saying inappropriate phrases like "finger for daddy," and AJ took it upon himself to report this. So yeah, if you don't know who Callan is, he performed on my Josh H slash diss track kind of diss track slash just music video in general, just or music audio video, whatever however you pronounce it or call it. It was just a funny little joke at the time. You know, we wasn't really taking the whole situation as seriously as we probably should have done. I released that on Valentine's Day earlier this year. Just decided to put it together. I thought it'd be pretty funny, but as you get older, you kind of realise the seriousness of the the topic. So anyway, he confides in it to me and Callan, because we obviously went to school with him. Callan's in my year. I think he's older than Josh, I don't know. But yeah, no, but me and Callan was lucky for us because as he confided in to us, me and Callan was both friends with this guy called Alex Draper. Now, Alex Draper's a long time mate of mine. You know, we don't really talk to him, but he's a long time mate of mine. And he was one of the head authorities of the year, who was able to be listened to and be, if he was spoken out something like, if one of us would have said anything, it wouldn't have really mattered, they wouldn't have took it into consideration, but because it was from a high authority like him in the school, they took it seriously. So we managed to persuade him, show him all the proof that he needed to see, and he was able to then tell them about Josh, who was still off from his accident at the time. Basically, I don't know if I said this later on in the video, just in case I didn't. Prior 2 weeks before we found this happened, Josh had performed a stunt. It's on camera. I don't know if I'll be allowed to show it, but if I am to show it, it'll be in the second video coming on Tuesday. But yeah, basically he attempts to jump over 5 to 10 people, and he breaks his collarbone in the process, so the stunt fails. Lucky for him, that bags him a lot of time off school. So obviously, lucky for him, people found out about the allegations or the claims and that. About 2 weeks after. So yeah, so the second week of Josh's break, or no, Josh's like, I don't really know how to say it, Josh is kind of like holiday because of this accident. Everybody finds out what happened, or what had happened. So, basically, sorry guys, I'm really sorry for this video games. I probably should have just pasted the audio clip over the video games race, but hey, I'm stupid and I do my thing. But anyways, so Alex managed to tell the school about what's happened, and the school take it into their own matters and they call the authorities, the appropriate authorities, the police. So the police don't really do much about it, they just give Josh a warning, and Josh is then allowed to return to school approximately 3 months later. So this is about June, July, oh it might have been 2 months then. Oh okay, 2 months later. So he has approximately 6 weeks off, then he takes a bit extra because of the claims. So he comes back after 2 months, and as you're gonna bet, people are making fun of him because of these and all that, and he's like, I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I did say a couple of things to him, and like, I just asked him some questions, just like why he did it and that. Nothing to really like, make fun of him, just kind of like get in his head and ask why. And he didn't really listen. And the teachers stupidly, I don't know why, they gave him privileges such as letting him wear his AirPods in class so he could block out the hate. I mean, well, I guess which is like, it's fair enough, but you know, he shouldn't have fucking done it in the first place really, and then all of this could have been avoided. But yeah, so that happens, and so, yeah, so that's the whole timeline of everything, and then later on, Hillary, the girl I was talking about earlier, her mum passed away a month later, and you know that's kind of when she started getting emotional about the Joshua. So yeah, so her mum passed away, and that's when she gets started emotional about everything. Because we only know how to take care of things. And yeah, so we try everything to help her, but then we don't really talk to her because, you know, oh for fuck's sake, her and my mate AJ, I think, broken up by then. So yeah, that all happens, and everything just dies down. He comes back to school, nothing really happens until October time 2019. So everything died. Hillary's kind of lying low about everything, and you know, after her mum's passing, and Josh is just keeping himself to himself. And one day, my mate Thomas texts me, and this is about a completely different girl. Who's only a year below me, so it's not like that bad in a sense. But obviously, it was just the fact that he was using his emotional state to pressure these confused girls into sending inappropriate things and products. So, well, not products, but you get what I mean. So, I get a text from my mate, and the first thing is to screenshot this victim. Or, as far as we know anyway, Josh's second victim. So I've just taken the chin to Luke's side. So, we find out that this girl, what can we call this girl? Let's call her Michelle. That's like the name of the first lady thing. Basically, Michelle tells me shows me these screenshots. Josh asking her again for inappropriate things, but this time she has the guts to say no. He didn't like that, as he kept saying please, 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 but he kept putting please, loads of kisses, and then one text which utterly just disgusts me to this day. He says, and I quote, "Please, just one pic for to make up for not being able to date me." So not only has he asked to date her, but then he asks for a pic for him to do unimaginable things to, just because she won't go out with him. Which again just disgusts me to this day. So again I tell Callan, and we both tell Alex, and Alex tells the school again. Now the school have to start taking this seriously, because not only has this happened twice, the police and the school let him off with a warning last time, but they had to start thinking about the kids here, like the young girls who were like not lives, but who were in danger and exposure to this unbelievable, disgusting sicko. So what they do is they tell the police again, and this time the police aren't so nice about it, because I think, and I could be wrong, but I don't know, I think he got kicked out straight after. I don't really know quite. I think there was a bit of a break from it, to be fair. But yeah, he got kicked out, and basically he was picked on again for the majority of school, and literally, like, I'm trying to think of what happened. We was in class once, and my mate George turned around to ask him why he did it. Like, it was literally a question, that's all. And again, he just lied about it. He just kept saying, like, I didn't. And then he turns around to George, and he's like, do you want to smack? And then so he turns around, and I say, mate, it's not his fault, you're wrong. And probably shouldn't have said that, it was just lying a bit to me, because it's just the thought of what he was doing to these girls just wasn't fair, like, at all. And he literally, the teacher comes up to me, gives me a detention, and then takes Josh out of the class, proceeds to take him out of the class. And admittedly, probably shouldn't have said that, but it's like, it is the truth in a sense. So, after that, I think he hit my mate Calvin, and he also hit one of my other mates called Josh. Other mate called Josh Murgatroyd. I'll say his name. I don't think he'll mind. But I'm not. Yeah, I think I made that sound like Josh H was my mate. No. I ain't been friends with him. It's like people refer to him as a paedophile, and obviously in the eyes of the law, he can't be a paedophile. But even so, like that's like the reason I don't like him is because the way he just the ways the smart but yet still sick ways he used to lure these girls into his trap was just fucking believable. And then after that, we learnt that there were more girls, such as one of my mates. I'm not going to say, but she's going to kindly send me a screenshot for me to use for my next video, my part 2 video. But yeah, so he gets kicked out. They try to get him back into the school, but they won't let him. They take him to another school, but he gets bullied there because like all the schools are connected. They all talk to one another, and literally it results in him being homeschooled, which I think is best for everyone. And I think he got put onto the sex offenders register. I can't be sure of that. I'll have to read more into that for me to inform you in my next video. But he's just sick. I'm going to share my opinion with you now. I'm disgusted that I ever let him buy me that milkshake when I didn't know what he was doing. And just, in theory, I'm going to say this now, obviously he was more in the wrong, but with the whole Hillary girl, she did a lot of questionable things towards him. I think she was okay, she liked the attention, but yet again, the age gap, him being 16 and her being, what, 12, it was disgusting. And I just hope, I really hope, that he doesn't ever be let near any young girls again, because he is just a disgusting man. I won't even call him a man, he's not a man. And I got told that people wanted to show his girlfriend this. And now here's, if you're his girlfriend and you've made it to this point of the video, I'm going to tell you now, you can stay with him. I'm not going to tell you to break up with him. I can't control what you do. But I would suggest you make a clean getaway. And I'm really sorry if he's already done anything bad to you. It gets me angry fucking talking about this. It's like 1 in the morning nearly. Yeah, I feel like it's up to me to have to make a video about that disgusting individual. Fucking hell, he's weird. I just don't like him. But yeah, he's creepy. He's just. I'm gonna go more into depth about sexual abuse and that in the second video, so I'm not gonna say too much about it now. But if you are dealing with sexual abuse, you feel like you're being sexually harassed, please tell someone. It doesn't hurt. No one's gonna make fun of you. No what? Everyone knows it's not your fault, no matter what people say. Just please, just don't fall under a victim of like. I know it's harder than it sounds. I know. Well, I don't, because I've never been put into that situation. But it's like hearing about other people's stories. Like if they're all the same, then they're connected. It's just like, you get what I mean. But it's like, please just try your hardest, and don't let anyone tell you what to do. Do it if you want to do it, and if it's appropriate. But yeah, that comes to the end of this video, the conclusion. Just thought I'd tell you this now. Josh H has been a big part of my channel for many reasons, because he's disgusting. I'm not trying to make clout off him or anything. I'm just simply using him as an example to spread awareness for sexual abuse. But I think the saga isn't going to end tomorrow or whenever I upload this video. So I think Tuesday. So the saga isn't going to end Tuesday. Next year, and only next year, hopefully Actually, no, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. No, I'm not even gonna do research. I'm not even gonna ask if I can. I'm just gonna do it because he deserved it. It's disgusting. Again, I'm probably not gonna put his full name into it. I'll do some research and see if I'd be allowed to put his name into it, because I don't think anyone's gonna be able to get to him anyway. There's dozens of people with his name in the world, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna tell you his address either, because that's just sick. I'm not like that. But what I do want to say is that if this video, there's a lot of recognition, which I hope it does, I promise next year, hopefully around March, April, May time, I will make a documentary on Josh H. Well, anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please stay safe. Don't fall into the hands of the people like this. I just beg you, stay away, and you will do the best you can to live a safe life around that. And remember, there's always people that can help you if you've had this happen to you or something. I'm sorry to the many victims of Josh H that there was. I know that there were many more from the girls that I've mentioned in this video. And my condolences go out to you guys, you girls. I'm really sorry that this had to happen to you. But he's homeschooled now. He's been dealt with. And thank you guys for watching. Oh, mainly, there is one person who I want to thank for inspiring me to make this 2-part video series. Obviously, and the documentary next year. I want to thank Josh's girlfriend, because I'm making these videos specifically for you, along with everybody else, so you know who the true person is that you're going out with.